And hello, you incredible friends. Edward's here and Steph. How are you today, Steph Gobraiel?
I'm good. How are you, Ed?
Well, I am feeling better, but a bit nervous. This is my StreamYard did a big update to their software, and I'm actually doing my first LinkedIn live stream from a mobile phone. So what do you think so far, Steph? I hope it's working, by the way.
It is. It's actually more clearer than before they did the upgrade. So let's see how we go. I mean, technology is volatile, right? So we just got to go with it and see what happens.
There we go. So I'm using mobile, doing a mobile test. I've got a 5G tower over there. But more importantly, I've got the amazing Steph Gobraiel with us. Now, Steph, you have been going crazy and winning big. You've built an incredible business over the years. I want to talk to you about sales. What are your top sales secrets that you'd love to share with the audience?
Sure. So I think the first thing is to build a connection. If there's no connection, there's not going to be a sale. Let's just be really blunt about it. Don't go throwing your cards at people because that's only going to put them off. Try and have a conversation like we did, in the good old days, and just really see, if there's synergy there. I mean, it's really all about, the feelings. I was watching some cartoons with my daughter over the weekend, Ed, and I did a post about it. But and there was this big, lone wolf shark production man, and no one was really, hitting the mark with him until he said what he wanted, and they said that's what they'll give him. So, at the end of the day, it really is about the connection. It's not just about, how skilled you are or what you do and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you, and I think you're absolutely spot on because, and here's the thing, right? And I had this conversation not with our community members and clients, but more other people. Our clients will never ever say this, but I've met a lot of people who they don't like being spammed, right? They don't like being spammed too, but they think it's okay to spam everyone else, right? And I've seen a lot of very smart people run that hypocrisy. And I bet you've seen the same thing. Like they don't want to be spammed too, but it's okay for them to spam everyone else.
Okay, so I believe in two things, Ed. I think there's book smart and street smart. If you're street, you'll know that it doesn't work. I mean, how many emails does everyone get every day from, just a cold email, and all you want to do is hit delete or send it to your spam folder? There's no two ways about it.
You would know this. You know this better than me. You know email marketing way better than me. Interestingly, Microsoft and Google have announced, I think it's towards the end of the year, they're going to, on Microsoft and Google, if your email is unverified, it won't go through anymore. So they're doing a huge unverified email purge.
Wow, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's long overdue because I think because the problem with email is from a sales point of view, email has been abused so badly, it's lost all its integrity. Right?
That's right. Mm.
Yeah. So I think there's a really good opportunity for, interestingly, Google and Microsoft to actually bring integrity back to email.
Which is really long overdue, as you said, Ed. I think it's really long overdue because, in this day and age, we are all about, emails, technology and everything else. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes as well.
Yeah. And I just want to check in with our fans too. If you're here, smash that like, share and comment. It's Edward's here, Steph Gobraiel, doing a live stream from his mobile phone. And I'm actually really impressed. There we go, coffee. I'm actually at, can I show you where I am, Steph? Is that all right?
Sure, absolutely.
If you have a mobile phone, you can pick it up. I am at Novotel Darling Harbour today.
Excellent.
There we go. See, you can't do that very easily with a laptop. So I'm getting persuaded on the benefits of live streaming off mobile phone. There you go.
You just need to carry around a portable charger, Ed.
That's fine. I just plug it in anyway.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I left it home today, which is really dumb, but I'm at 86%. Now, Steph, I want to ask you, and I'll tell you some of my results lately is about a week ago, I started a new sales program. So what I'm doing is basically every day I'm getting better at reaching out to people. So every day I'm carving out at least an hour or two just to reach out to. Usually what I find actually is the best result has come from people that like, share, comment on my post. So if I do a post on LinkedIn and 100 people like and comment, they're the people I find that's really important. It's the warm people. And so I've had a lot of really good, mostly of my workshop as the lead, I've had a lot of success with getting basically people signed up to my paid workshops. And what I found there, the bit that's interesting is they're not random people on LinkedIn. They are people who are liking, sharing, and commenting on my posts. So in other words, they're warm. What are your thoughts on that one, Steph? I'd love to hear your whole business thoughts on those topics.
Yeah, so I think, they are people within your circle, or I think they're people that have really, taken time to get to know you and, who you are and what you stand for and everything else.
Yeah.
So I think, they would be much warmer people to be able to reach out to. And, again, as we said, Ed, it's not about the sale. It's about seeing how they're going, seeing where they're at, where they're at in business, what's happening with them, to understand, where they're at. Because if we can understand where a potential client is at, you can then sort of put them into a category as to whether, it is worth following up, or maybe in 6 months' time instead of 1 month time.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's important is to really focus your selling on warm people, because I find a lot of people, they'll start, and I was having this chat with Robert Hawkins yesterday, great guy from Zinzino, Robert Hawkins, exactly the same chat, and having a similar chat with you in that there's a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll start a business or they'll have a product, and what they'll do is they'll focus on people they don't know. They'll ignore their innermost circle of friends. They'll ignore their network and they just start selling to cold people. And Robert was just calling out how idiotic that was, and I couldn't agree more. And I find a lot of people do that. A lot of people won't sell to their inner circle or network. They're just trying to sell to random strangers, and surprise, surprise, because in our business, no one random signs up with me, never. They always know me, or at least they're in my network. What about you, amazing Steph?
Exactly the same, Ed. If you don't know, like, or trust someone, you're not going to give your money to them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes you get connections on LinkedIn and they're like, I do this, this, and this, so if you need anything, it's like you haven't even taken a moment to look at who I am or what I do or anything else. It's just this cold calling thing, right? And it's just like delete, delete, delete. That's what it ends up in. And I mean, I think what the statistics, like, you got to reach out to 100 before you can get one potential sale for it. So 1 in 100. You may as well focus on the warmer people, the people that do like you, that do trust you, and do, think that, you're reputable and would, if they're not your direct client, as you said before, they could be a potential, referral partner, which would be amazing as well.
Now, I'm going to say you're in the zone. Now, I want to talk about business networking. Now, I'm at Novotel Darling Harbour right now. I've got a few meetings on today, and interestingly, this Friday is a Novotel Darling Harbour meetup. Now, and come to see you there, by the way. Now, you're a master business networker. I know you run a lot of women's networking events. You do a lot of just normal co-ed events and all that. First one, right? What's your master tips on how to succeed in business networking? Like, we'll talk face-to-face and make it easy. Let's say you go to a face-to-face business networking event. What are your top tips to really succeed in that forum?
I think number one is, and I said this to someone that's coming on Friday who connected with me, Ed. I said, be yourself. I think being yourself is one of the most important things you can do, because you want to attract your tribe, right? That's the bottom line. You want to attract like-minded people, so you need to be yourself. Number two is, feel the vibe of the room. Like, if it's a welcoming vibe, if it's, like, it can be daunting to go networking, especially if you've never been to a particular one before. So, really, sort of suss out the vibe. Are people friendly? Are people willing to come and say, hey, how are you? Come and talk with us, and that sort of thing, which you and Lassie do so good. And as leaders, we're part of that, right? So we're always welcome. We're always welcoming. We're always warm. We're happy to talk to anyone, because it's not here. Here's my card. It's about actually building that relationship.
I remember a funny story you told me, it's funny with tragedy, right? It's a tragically funny. That meetup that you went to, and we won't name it. We know the meetup, not meetup, the business networking event that you went to, not ours, of course. And basically, you were the wrong gender and race. It's like, they just hated your guts. It's like, how dare you, non-white female, invade our personal chambers? Get out of here, you non-white female. Now, I'm not white, but I'm not female. I've had similar experiences. I'm not anymore because I'm Edward's ear, but when I was just, building my profile, I would go to some events and they just give you a hard time. Like they really, it's like they hate you before you walk in, right?
It's like you're in the
So
wrong room. It's like you're in the wrong room, Ed. Right?
yeah. And my take is, I was thinking about your tragically funny story the other day. My take is, if you're in the wrong room, you're better off just leaving right away and cutting your losses. I got a more interesting question on that one. Why are some people like that? Why are some people so mean like that? It's like Steph's like an Arab female. How dare you come to our meetup? We only want white men here. I don't know. I'm just obviously I'm being melodramatic here, but tell us what you think about this whole topic of they hate you before you open your mouth.
Well, because you don't, number one, look like them. If you look around the room, it was 90%, white older males that were there. So I was like, I had to ask, the person at the door, is this makeup? And they went, yeah, this is it, come in. And then, the other females that were there, they were sort of clinging to, a male, so they weren't go. Like, so I tried to talk to some of them, and they just
So how dare you be an independent male, not accompanied by a man? How dare you? How dare you be a strong, independent woman? Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? That can put people off, right, Ed? But here's the thing, Ed. Here's the interesting thing about it, right? So when I started my business, okay, I went to this networking event, and I wasn't very confident. And, when you're starting out, no one is, right? But then I went again. We crossed paths again 3 years later. Okay, so I was like, okay, I know who I am. I'm, got a lot more confidence. And the second time around, it was exactly the same vibe. People were looking at me like, are you supposed to be here? And no one talked to me. No one talked to me. No one came. Like, I was smiling and I was standing around, like an idiot, thinking someone's going to come talk to me.
Hey, what are you doing here? Hey,
and every time I tried to make eye contact.
Who let in the colored, huh? Who let in the colored, huh?
And every time I tried to make eye contact, Ed, it was like, you know what I mean? It was like looking away. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is not what I want to be,
Oh, hey, and just so you know, friends, I don't. My apologies if I don't pick up all your comments. StreamYard only gives me some of them, but we've got a great comment from James Keysweater from Facebook. I'm sure you could have taught the room a thing or two, Steph. Yeah, it's funny that actually, I remember back in my time too, I went to a business networking event. Interestingly, one of the ladies now comes to our meetup, which is quite funny. And it was like that. They just hated my guts, absolutely hated my guts. And for no reason, it's not like I went in there and said a bunch of weird stuff. They hated me before I opened my mouth. They didn't even know, this is before I didn't have brand. They didn't even know who I was. They just hated my guts. And it's interesting, actually. I find that form of, because I'm in the camp of judging people. I love judging people. If someone's nice to me, I'm done. If they're a nice person, that's the end of my judgment. I hate it when they judge you on race, gender, or some other attribute that's completely irrelevant. Now, I know you agree on that one. And I just want to say this. I hope all those networking events go completely kaput. Do you agree with that dark statement, Steph?
Absolutely. Because, if anyone's got half a brain, they wouldn't go back, right? Like, I didn't go back. I was like, surely networking is not meant to feel like this, right? So and I've said this before, Ed, it's like coming to someone's house, right, when you go networking. If someone opens the door, hypothetically, and goes, welcome, come in, to get a drink or whatever it is, you're going to feel at home. You're going to go, oh, this is good, this is working, right? But if you go to someone's door and someone opens the door and's like, who are you? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
You're not going to feel welcome. So
Yeah, so there you go. I think it's absolutely incredible. I only have one discrimination in life, and do you want to know what my discrimination bias is?
What is it?
People who use Apple products. No, just kidding. There we go. Those Apple people, they're corrupt in our country. So there you go. No, we love Apple. Apple's a great environment to install Microsoft products on. So I was just going to ask you as well, Steph.
Yeah.
So what are some of your tips for, we got a lot of great people watching, and thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, connect with Steph and I. What are some of your closing thoughts on people to really sell in style throughout the year? What are your top 3 thoughts that you give to any new client?
Sure. I would look at where you're focusing your time, right? If your ideal client is not on the platforms where you're focusing your time, you're wasting your time, right?
True.
I love this saying, energy, where you put your energy, let me try that again. Energy flows where it goes, right? So if you're going to put all this time into, a platform that's not working, then reassess it. Reassess where you're investing your time, and who is within your circle. Make a list. It doesn't hurt. Make a list, because you'd be surprised how many people there are. We can't keep everything in our head, so make a list. And then focus on those people as well. And then focus on, building those relationships that you want to nurture, and, get them, in order to get them into your inner circle.
Well said, Steph, and love your work. And friends, thank you for coming. Now, Steph, just before we finish up, I just want to do a quick sales plug. Tell us a bit about what you've got for people. I know you're a top business mentor and strategist and networker. Tell us a bit about what you've got for everyone.
Yep. So I'm behind the scenes working on a membership as well for accountability, goals, and community. So that's going to be released very soon, potentially mid-February at this point. But it's really all about, keeping accountability, having community behind you, and understanding why you're not achieving the goals for your business, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to build your pipeline. It's working on your business, it's not in your business, which is the client work, which of course we make time for, but we need to make time for the business in order to build that pipeline.
There we go. Well said, Steph, and big thank you. And thanks for your live streams. And I'm so glad StreamYard's updated their software. It feels good being able to live stream from my mobile phone.
So much better. Yep. Thank you for your time, Ed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we lost Steph. We lost you. Oh, my God, we lost you. Did we get you back?
I thought I lost you.
As I was complimenting the software, how much improved, bang, out you go. So there we go. So touch wood, don't tempt fate. There we go. So big thank you, Steph, and for everyone watching. If you need any help on LinkedIn or want to get mentored by us, reach out. Steph, pumped to see you on Friday for our Novotel Darling Harbour meetup, which I am at now at Novotel Darling Harbour, as you can see.
Yep, me too, Ed. Look forward to meeting new faces and seeing the people that we already know. So
love you, Stay awesome. Thank you, everyone. Keep up the winning. See you. Bye.